Said you're going to think about running for president. Would you be running to send a message, or would you be running to win?
No, look, you run for president because you believe you would be the best candidate, because you believe you'd be the best president of the United States. And so any decision that I make about doing something that significant and that serious would be with the intention of winning, and because I think I would be the best candidate.
Would your path be inside the Republican Party or outside the Republican Party?
I haven't made any specific decisions or plans about that at this point.
So running as an independent is a possibility. It's one of the things you're thinking
I'm
about.
not going to go down that path anymore in terms of speculating.
Congresswoman Liz Cheney speaking with ABC's Jon Karl after conceding her election primary loss. Here's more of that wide-ranging interview.
This wasn't just losing a House seat. You were in leadership. You were considered a future Speaker of the House, a potential future, maybe even the next Speaker of the House. It's a lot to give up. Any regrets? No regrets.
You know, I feel sad about where my party is. I feel sad about the way that too many of my colleagues have responded to what I think is a great moral test and challenge of our time. A great moment to determine whether or not people are going to stand up on behalf of the democracy and on behalf of our republic.
What does your defeat say about Trump's hold on the Republican Party?
I think, one, it says that people continue to believe the lie. They continue to believe what he's saying, which is very dangerous. I think it also tells you that large portions of our party, including the leadership of our party, both at a state level in Wyoming as well as on a national level with the RNC, is very sick. And that, you know, we really have got to decide whether or not we're going to be a party based on substance and policy, or whether we're going to remain, as so many of our party are today, in the grips of a dangerous former president.
In addition to Trump's gloating about your loss, his spokesperson said she may have been fighting for principles, but they are not the principles of the Republican Party. I mean, arguably, he's right, isn't he?
Well, doesn't that tell you something? You know, what I'm fighting for is the Constitution. What I'm fighting for is the perpetuation of the Republic. What I'm fighting for is the fact that elections have to matter, and that when the election is over and the courts have ruled and the Electoral College has met, that the President of the United States has to respect the results of the election. And if Donald Trump's spokesman says that those are principles that are inconsistent with Donald Trump's views and inconsistent with the Republican Party's views, I think that ought to give every American pause about who Donald Trump is and about what the Republican Party stands for today.
You're starting this political organization. What can you tell us? What are you going to do?
I'm going to be very focused on working to ensure that we do everything we can not to elect election deniers, and I'm going to work against those people. I'm going to work to support their opponents. I think it matters that much.
Will you be getting involved in campaigns against those Republican candidates that are challenging or denying the results of the election?
Yes.
Including your Republican colleagues here in Congress?
Yes.
So, Katy, it'll be interesting to see what that looks like for Liz Cheney, what her role is as she moves forward. She's made very clear she's not going anywhere, but what impact can she have? But just taking a step back, it remains extraordinary that in the space of 5 or 6 years, Liz Cheney, a Republican named Cheney, now has no place in the party, where her father, you know, for many years was name brand and a central figure, particularly in the state of Wyoming, but nationally. And now we've gotten to the place where the litmus test is, did you back Donald Trump enough? Not, are you conservative enough?
Yeah. Meanwhile, she had, of course, a 93% voting record in line with Donald Trump. So It wasn't like she was voting against his policies. It wasn't like she spent her career trying to oppose his agenda. It was really just on this one issue of the 2020 election and Donald Trump's insistence that it was stolen from him. I thought it was interesting listening to that today, Willie, as we have this poll out showing that the threat to democracy is the #1 concern amongst voters in America as they head into the elections. And yet there is Liz Cheney alone in her party alongside Adam Kinzinger and the few brave people who voted to impeach Donald Trump and have now been ousted from the party. But she's alone with Adam Kinzinger sitting there trying to defend the thing that Americans say is their top issue in the poll going into the midterm election. I think that tells you all you need to know about where the Republican Party is on this one issue.
And to be clear, she sacrificed her political career, which still had a lot in front of it, to take this stand. So we will see what she does going forward.